Hey everybody, I've got 4 new sets of rolling stock that are made by MTH, and we're going to check them out right now on Eric's Trains. So what I've got here is 4 4-car sets of military flat car loads. So 2 of the sets have flat cars with Humvees, and the other 2 have flat cars with Stryker vehicles. So there's 8 of each and a total of 16 cars altogether. So for today's unboxing, we'll be using this knife. I just got this about a week ago. It's a CRKT Fossil. Very cool looking knife. So we'll open up this box first, and this is the U.S. Army Desert Paint Scheme. 60-foot flat car with 2 Humvee vehicles, and it's a 4-car set. Now, as many of you might know, by far the most popular set of rolling stock that I have in my collection is my MTH Abrams tanks flat cars. I got a 6-pack years ago and everybody loves them. They made 2 6-packs. I only got 1 and I've regretted it ever since. And so basically ever since then, as a standing rule, anytime I see MTH put out flat cars with cool military loads, I get them. And so that's why I got all 16 of these. And still, they've never made those flat cars with the Abrams tanks since then. I wish they would do it again. They would sell out, I'm sure of it. And I have told the folks at MTH, you should make them. They will sell. Because without question, that 6-pack of cars is the most talked about set of cars that I have in my collection, period. Alright, so there it is in the box. Probably can't see too much because there's some foam protecting the Humvees. These look really cool though. And there's the tag on the end of the box. Boy, these look really nice. These might be a worthy successor to those M1A Abrams tank flat cars. Got a whip antenna on the back, that's really cool. Oh yeah. This is awesome. I mean, it's heavy. It's got some really nice weight to it. I wonder if these are die-cast metal or something. I mean, this thing is heavy. Let's go ahead and get off these ties and so forth. We've got about 300 pieces of foam protecting these things. So there's the car itself, and the car itself is pretty darn heavy. And then here's one of those Humvees, and they're plastic, they're not die-cast metal, but boy, this car has some weight to it. I'll have to put it on the scale in a minute and see what it weighs in at. I mean, that's got to be over a pound. Yeah, look at that. This looks awesome. I can say, before even putting it on the track, these cars are a total home run. Right on. So glad MTH is still putting out some cool stuff. You know, now that MTH has scaled back a bit, I think what they're going to do going forward is sort of custom runs like this, where they do really nice models in limited numbers. And I don't have any problem with that. These look fantastic. Also packaged with the car are these little pieces of plastic. These are mounting pads in case you want to remove the big O-gauge couplers and replace them with scale couplers. That's what these are for. So I've got 7 more of the Humvee flat cars that I'll open up off camera. Let's go ahead and open up one of the flat cars with the Stryker vehicles. So this is the U.S. Army Desert 60-foot flat car with 2 Stryker vehicles, 4-car set. And to be honest, I can't remember what the Stryker vehicle looks like. I suppose I could look it up on Google, but I'll find out soon enough. Now I remember. So there's the tag. Oh wow. Yeah, I remember these now. It's not quite a tank, it's kind of like a assault vehicle sort of thing. I'm sure somebody in the comments section will fill us all in on exactly what a Stryker vehicle is for, although you could just Google it that way too. So there's one of the Stryker vehicles. And again, this whole car is very heavy. That's well over a pound. I'm going to weigh these cars once we get them on the table, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was well over a pound, maybe in the 2-pound range. Alright, so I'm going to unbox the rest of these and we'll get them on the layout and go from there. Gosh, I can't get over how great these things look. Alright, so let's start off by taking a closer look at the flat car with the Humvees on it. Now, I'm going to tell you, it took me a long time to unpack these cars. There were 16 cars, as I said, and it took me well over an hour to unpack all 16, and that's because they are so well packed to avoid damage. So it's a good thing, but it is a very time-consuming thing. I also got to tell you that both the Humvees and the Stryker vehicles are extremely fragile, and so it goes without saying that these are not meant for small kids in any way, shape, or form. They're very finely detailed, and a lot of those detail parts can break off very easily. How do I know? Because I broke off several pieces while unpacking both the Humvees and the Stryker vehicles. On the Humvee, by far the most fragile piece is this little antenna on the back. And I broke off 2 or 3 of these while I was unpacking them, and I had to glue them back with some CA glue. Not a big deal, not the end of the world, but you can save yourself a little aggravation if you exercise extreme caution when unpacking and handling these vehicles. And let's go ahead and take a closer look at one of these Humvees now that we're in the light. And as you can see, these things look amazing. Clear plastic inserts in the windows, they got mud flaps behind the tires, little spare tire on the back. This little wire antenna, very cool. The turret on top does rotate. Pretty cool. It's got rear view mirrors as well. Little lift rings on the hood. The lights are painted orange. I mean, they did an excellent job on this thing. And the wheels do turn, so you could roll these around, although you probably wouldn't want to do that owing to the fact that they're so fragile. But yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous Humvees. And let's go ahead and take these off again very carefully and check out the car. So there's the deck, looks great. You got the wheel stops for the Humvees, separately applied brake wheel and metal grab irons and so forth. Die-cast metal sprung trucks and couplers, of course. Nice underframe detailing, as you can see. And nice car data printed on the side. And you can see the road name is DODX. So along with these cars, you'll also get an instruction sheet that breaks down into 2 sections. The first section concerns the coupler cut bars that are packed separately with each car. We'll get back to these in a minute. And then the second section concerns the chain assembly if your car comes with chains and load adjusters. These cars do not come with the chains or the load adjusters. The original flat cars with M1A Abrams tanks that I have, those do have the chains, and I gotta say, I'm kind of glad these don't have the chains, because although those chains look fantastic, over the years they have proved to be quite a nuisance because they're always coming loose and coming apart, and I'm always having to fix them, and so, to be honest, I'm kind of glad these don't have the chains. It makes it a lot easier. Alright, now let's talk about these coupler cut bars. So with each car, you'll get this little bag, and inside there are 2 coupler release bars, one for each end of the car. And the reason these are not attached by default is because if you have these on the car, it increases the minimum required curve for each car. According to the instructions here, by default, these cars have a minimum required curve of 0.42. If you attach these coupler cut bars, that minimum required curve becomes 0.54. Now on my layout, my curves are wider than 0.54, so I'm going to go ahead and attach these right now. So the coupler cut bar attachment is going to go right here in these 2 holes. And on the attachment itself, it's got 2 little prongs. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. Now, you could stick it in there without any glue, but I don't want these to come off. So I'm just going to put a little bit of CA glue on here. And then pop it right in, like that. And then I'll hit it with a drop of Insta-Set just to set the glue. And there we go. And now I gotta do this same thing 31 more times. Alright, now let's check out one of the Stryker vehicle flat cars. The flat car itself is exactly the same as the one you've already seen. And if you notice, I've already attached my coupler cut bars at each end. So the only difference is the vehicles that are on top. So let's take a closer look at one of those Stryker vehicles again. And just like the Humvees, these things look incredible. I mean, look at that. All the rivets and bolts. Look at that underside. The wheels rotate. There's the front. There's the other side. And there's the back. Got those nice whip antennas up here, which are metal. The turret rotates. And if you rotate it far enough, it'll actually detach like that. Kind of interesting. And the gun also moves up and down a little bit. Now again, just like with the Humvees, these are very fragile, so you need to be extremely careful when handling them. When I was unboxing these, I broke off a piece or two, so yeah, you got to really exercise some caution with these, but they are absolutely beautiful. Alright, now comes the fun part. I'm going to end this video by running these cars around the layout for a few minutes to give them a nice breaking in. And just for some extra fun, I'm also going to be running my older flat cars that I mentioned earlier that have the M1A Abrams tanks. So all totaled, we'll have 22 flat cars with military loads. If you'd like to get these cars for yourself or any other O-scale trains, try my favorite train store, which is Legacy Station. You can find them on the web at www.legacystation.com or give them a call at 770-339-7780. If you'd like to support this channel, I would greatly appreciate it. That can be done through Patreon at patreon.com/ericstrains. Patreon supporters enjoy all sorts of perks and benefits, and you can read about those benefits on my Patreon page. I'd like to put a big thank you out there to all of my current Patreon supporters. Your support means the world, not only to me, but to the future of this channel.